So ordinarily, y'all are very articulate and engage in stimulating conversation, but now we're gonna play Hold Our Breath.
No, I'm always ready to engage in some civil discourse.
All right, so why don't y'all go ahead and tell me what you're thinking about this president of yours?
Um,
And his team's response to this pandemic sweeping across our nation.
now this,
Honestly, it's kind of scary, and at this point, I've just been praying for him a lot, and I now use him when answering questions. Like when my mom asked me to wash the dishes, I give her a Donald Trump answer. I am going to wash the dishes, but I'm not going to wash them. So I I just pray. I just pray. Go outside, but don't go outside. It's safe, but no one is safe. So I'm going to continue to pray because honestly, no one has answers. I haven't gotten any answers from anyone. So I'm just praying.
I'm wondering what has this pandemic experience been like for y'all when you were ready, you ran out there. This is your first year of college. I know you had certain expectations, and then like what were you feeling when February, March hit of this year? Tell me about what that was like.
Well, I know for me, spring, I had expectations for spring semester. It was supposed to be when I joined the social club. I'm finishing Gen Chem 2. Had a lot of things lined up in preparation for the summer. My birthday was coming up, wanted to go on a big spring break trip with new friends, just a lot of things in place. And I noticed it was a shift on campus. The energy was different. Um, it was for the first time in class was like brought to a standstill where professors actually talked about doing off-campus learning, and like everything started to become a reality. It went from us discussing the news at dinner about what's going on in the world to talking about it in class, like we might not be here next week, we might not make it to the end of this week. So it was just really strange, kind of disappointing. It took me a while to come to terms with the fact that I'm not going to have the semester that I wanted to have, the semester that I thought I was going to have. But I will say that the timing is so strange because it's a very devastating thing that's happening to the world right now. But it's been a general consensus among me, my classmates, and other high schoolers and other college students who feel like there's something that's so odd about this timing that was so perfect. Like the way that classes were going, how some students were struggling, some people didn't know how they were making it to the end of the semester. So I'm really appreciative that we all kind of got to take a step back, appreciate the time that we have, our lives, and get back to who we are, like self-care. Because I know for one, I neglect to do that while I'm at school. I don't have time to necessarily work that into my schedule, or I don't work it in. But so it's just been strange time. So
yeah, and kind of likewise. I mean, it was something like you said that it was like, oh, like did you hear? Like it is so terrible over in China or over in Italy, and then now it's like we went down to South Padre Island, Texas, for spring break, and I mean like mid like having a good time, you get this email that's like classes are canceled, like don't come back to campus. You can only come back to campus if you are an international student or you need to like gather your belongings, right? um and honestly it kind of felt like the it almost kind of felt like the like end of the world for me, right? I was like, oh my god, like what am I gonna do, like what's next, right? um
Was there any conversation before you left out about, hey, that might not be a good thing to do right now? Like what was the conversation like on campus before you left for spring break?
Yeah, I mean, the conversation was like, it's so terrible in China, right? Like, it's so
Mhm.
terrible in Italy, and I think that like it didn't become real to us until it was too late, right? Until like
You
somebody
were
10
there.
towns over like had just gotten like, the virus, right? That was when it was like, oh wait, like this is serious, and like it's our problem now, right? Not just
Mhm.
China or Italy's problem. So yeah. Honestly, I mean, when it comes to like the toilet paper, like, that just goes to show like how like entitled, right, Americans are, right? And that is our like I remember talking to my grandmother, and like she was like, have you guys like found some toilet paper? And she was like, where did you guys get that from? And it was almost like it was like this really rare like commodity that was like extremely sought after. But you know, that just goes to show like that is where like that was where some of our priorities were,
But
right?
there was
Versus
none. There was none to be found.
I think we're seeing where our priorities are, especially now with things opening back up. Everyone needs to get a haircut. Everyone needs. I don't quite fully understand. I mean, from an economic standpoint, I could see why people are ready to get back to work, but at the same time, I feel like the country is going to take a bigger toll, um, opening everything back up and putting everyone back at risk. I don't agree with it though.
Can someone explain tattoo parlors to me?
I
Have you
cannot.
noticed people are really made a big deal about reopening tattoo parlors?
Okay, maybe.
right.
I, over quarantine, have considered getting a piercing, or some tattoo parlors do piercings as well.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
But like honestly, like you know, like first thought when you hear of like these like governors, like the governor of Texas and all these other political leaders, like advocating for the reopening of their states in such huge steps, you often, or at least I often thought to myself, man, it seems as if they really don't care, right? But then I had to really think back to the like ethics behind opening one state like that. I mean, like if we really think about it, the president is the only one who can technically waive those rights, right? And even then, it's strictly under like martial law, right? And if the president did not use that authority that he has, then I mean, are the governors really wrong for saying if you would like to go outside and go get a tattoo, being fully aware of these risks, that you should not be able to?
So you're saying this is more of a reflection on the government, more so the president and his priorities for Americans.
Well, just like honestly, like just in general, like can you tell someone who is fully aware of the risk
Hmm.
not to do something, or can you stop them from doing something? And I get that, yes, under the basis that you could hurt other people in the process.
The public good.
Right. I understand that argument. But on a general note, if someone wants to go outside knowing that they could lose their life, is it within the governor's right to stop them?